G'day guys, how's it going? I've just been given this old Kawasaki Bayou. It's been sitting around outside for quite a few years. The owner was gonna just dump it, so I thought I might as well take it off his hands and see if I can get it going. All the wheels are seized up. I'm not sure if that's just the brakes with rust on them or what's going on there, but I had to lift it on with the tractor because it just won't roll. And yeah, it's got quite a bit of rust, but it's not right through. Like, I think it'll be alright. There might just be the odd patch that I'll have to strengthen up, but I've seen worse, so it's not too bad. It's a four-wheel drive, but as you can see, the shaft to the front diff is long gone and slopping around, so it's now just two-wheel drive. The main reason why they stopped using it is because there's a hole in the crankcase down here. You can see all the oil's leaked out because it's been on an angle. Not too sure what happened there. Possibly the drive shaft broke or something, and that's where the drive shaft goes to the front wheels. I think that broke or came off and hit the crankcase there, and it dropped all its oil out. Yeah, I'm not sure how easy that's going to be to fix. I haven't really had a good look at it. I don't know if it's cracked further round or what, but if it's just a hole there, then I should be able to patch that up, I think. So she's got a few issues, but it does have compression, so there's that about it. I guess the first thing to do is just take that off and see how bad that actually is. And then if I get the engine running, I'll go around and give the whole thing a bit of a check over, try and free up those wheels, and see if we can get it rolling again. See if there's any metal in that oil. Pretty dark. No chunks of metal in there, so I think we can proceed. No rust in there. At least the bolts are nice and clean. They're not rusty at all, so that's good. It's a good sign. Quite often, if a bike's been in salt water, they'll be all like corroded to the alloy. But these aren't too bad. They're like new actually. That's a very good sign. Alright, there's a little key that goes in there. Can't lose that. It doesn't look too bad. It's only isolated to that area there. And the stator isn't damaged. I think it should be quite easily fixable. Might just put a patch over that. Man, that's tight. Alright, pulse generator. sort of expand the area where the patch will be. That looks like about the right curve we need. Perfect, that'll do it. There's not a lot of room between the outside of the flywheel and the casing, and the pulse generator tab here sticks out about 1 millimetre further, so I'm going to have to keep the bolts pretty close to the surface of the casing. So I'll have to use countersunk bolts just to get it away from that. So it's not a lot of room. Yeah, paint it there, that's it. Get onto it, mate. Good job. You're good at that. Yeah. I'll just put these bolts in temporarily, just so the holes line up perfectly. Countersink the holes slightly, and we can glue that in place. So I can't really get a drill in there to countersink it, I'm just going to do it by hand. This might take some time. Yeah, that's good. That'll clear the flywheel, no problems. I'm using this, it's kind of like an epoxy filler, sort of like JB Weld but cheaper. Should do the job. Come back in the morning and see if that's set. That's pretty solid now. Okay, I'll test the continuity between the phases and make sure we have something there. That's one. Yep. Yep, that stator seems fine. I've got the pulse generator. That all seems good, so we can clean everything up and put it back together. I find a piece of aluminium is ideal for getting rid of old gasket from an alloy casing. It doesn't scratch the aluminium face, it just takes the gasket away. I can see a little piece of the aluminium casing in there. Got it. That's a good bit. Yep, pretty sure that's all of it out. Stop the sealant getting on the inside of the casing, so otherwise it can get into the oil and clog things up. So I use RTV on one side of the gasket and grease on the other side, so that then it will only stick to one side. The gasket should come away without breaking next time. Alright, put that little key back in the groove. And line it up with the groove in the shaft there. That's it. The bolts aren't rubbing on the flywheel, so that's all sorted now. It's all going around alright. good. Alright, because they lost the key somewhere along the line, I might have to hot wire it, but first of all I'll try all the keys I've got and see if any of them work. You just never know. That one's close. Not quite though. I've just bypassed the key, twisted the two wires together, so now we can see if it's going to spark. Let's see what sort of state that air filter's in. Yep, that's not too bad actually. That's pretty clean. No mouse nests. Tell me if it sparks. Yep, that's sparking. Pretty sure there's an oil filter in there. Take that out and have a look. Yeah, there's a little bit of fine metal coming out of there. It's not too bad though, there's no big chunks. Done. New oil filter. I'll swap the original bung with a magnetic one, and that'll capture any metal pieces that might be floating around. The floater's stuck, probably. So it's leaking out now. Let's take this whole lot of plastic off to get to the carb, I think. Well, it probably needs a good going over anyway under there. I don't even like this carrier thing on the back here. It seems a bit dangerous because like if that came off and that turns into a razor blade, I'll get rid of that. Bolts are just breaking now. Oh yeah, that one broke as well. All the bolts lower down are rusty. Pretty sure it's been in the sea. That's got water in it. Damn. I must have got rainwater in the tank somehow. Hopefully it's not corroded. Rusty those screws. They're full of dirt. Someone's had a go at getting off, and the screw heads are all messed up. That one's coming. Yeah, quite rusty in there. No, that one's not coming. The head is stripped on it, so I have to try something else there. Well, it doesn't look too bad in there. I think that float valve is stuck, so that's probably why it was overflowing and coming out of here. I think that's the choke cable there that's been broken. That looks alright. Give those jets a good clean while we're in here. That's blocked up as well. That's pretty filthy actually. It's got a bit of sand or something in it. That one's blocked up as well. I'll put an inline filter after the fuel tank, I think, because it's got quite a bit of rubbish in there. It seemed to be leaking around the seal here, so I'll clean that groove out. That's clear now. One, two. That's closing now. Just put an inline filter there to catch any rubbish that might be in the tank. Alright, that's not leaking anymore. I think I've solved the problem. See what sort of compression we're working with. $130. Well, there's nothing wrong with those rings. That is quite a good result. Okay, I've got a battery pack on there. We'll just see if that starter motor works. No go with the starter. Damn. The solenoid probably, that looks a bit rusty. Let's see if I can bypass that. No leaks. Oh yeah, so that's reverse. Trying to pull backwards there. So down is reverse. Yep. Just trying to pull forward, so nothing much wrong with that. That sounds really good. Started straight away. She's pretty loud because there's a hole in the exhaust there, so I'll see if I can patch that up. Now that I know the engine's going to work, I'll try and sort out the starter. Oh yep, that's starting to work now. So it looks like there's just a bit of corrosion in here, and it's kind of loose, like it needs to be tightened up. So I'll just pull those sockets in a little bit tighter and see if that helps. Yep, that seems like it's going right now. Get the rust off these. Try that. Nice, that'll do it. Just these pins in here weren't contacting properly from the starter button. It's even charging. Nice, that's all sorted. Because it looks like the engine and gearbox and everything are okay, while I've got it apart like this, I'll go around and wire brush some of this rust off and put some rust killer on it just to try and make it last a bit longer. See if I can make that exhaust seal a bit better than it is. It's leaking out of there. The end of that pipe is rusted away, so I'll just weld another joiner onto that, bring it out to where it should be. Never sees in there. Makes it easier to get them off next time. Sealed up the leak in the exhaust, so that's another job done. Now I'll start trying to free up these front wheels. No oil in there, just water. Damn it. I don't know how long that's been sitting with water in there. It's not a good sign. Yeah, it's moving. Yep, that one's coming free. Have a go at this side now. That looks like that diff is locked up. That's no good. Let's see if I can turn it from here. No, we've got problems. Pull that diff out and see what's going on with it. Geez, it's pretty rusty in there. That gear looks alright. Just a bit of rust there, which should come off okay. That doesn't look too bad actually. I think it's just this bearing in here seized up. That's not moving at all. So I'll just rip that off and see what it's like. Yeah, I've got to try and get this shaft off here. I don't think there's any pins holding that on. I think it just slides off. So we'll see how we go. Man, that was really stuck on there. I actually had to grind a chunk off the side to get that off. It's sort of weaken the edge. But anyway, see how rusty that was. No wonder that wasn't coming off. Oh yeah, they're coming free actually. I think that'll be alright once it's all cleaned up. Yeah, look at that. They're freed right up. Just give that a bit of a clean in the ultrasonic and that'll be good to go. Well, that's all freed up quite nicely. Smooth as. Okay, there's a breather there. This side with the 3 holes goes at the top there. We don't want to pinch that O-ring, so I'm just going around making sure that it stays in the groove. No play there. Once we get a bit of oil in there, that'll get smoother. Alright, now the fun part, trying to get it back in there. It's a bit of a bloody jigsaw getting it back in. How did I get it out of there? Why do they make it so hard? transmission. There's probably an easier way. There must be. Right, maybe I did it the hard way, I don't know. Let's put a bit of grease on these bolts. They're less likely to get seized up in there next time. Bit of grease on the O-ring just to hold it in there.
Exactly the same as the other one.
Yeah, it's not so rusty that side. I'm pretty sure they used to launch their boat in the salt water with this. That's why it's so bloody rusty, and they put it right in the water. Poor old thing. Look after your machines and they'll look after you, eh?
Yeah. That's a good saying.
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before.
It's true.
No, fine. Because you were.
You don't want any of this coming apart, because imagine if you're going fast and the steering linkage came off. That's why we pin all the bolts, so they can't come apart.
Hey look, the steering's turning.
Yep, that's right. See how it works?
Yeah.
All the linkages.
So that's connected to the steering pole.
Steering arm, yep.
And that's connected to this, and you bang that down with a sledgehammer. And if that came loose,
Would be in trouble.
now you're gonna put that pin in there.
Another pin, yes.
Then you're gonna turn it around. It's got 3, 9, 9, and 5, and 1.
It's a wee bit rough, but that rust will clean off the rotors in no time. Alright, I've found a second-hand drive shaft for the front diff, which is in pretty good condition. The only thing is that it's missing the spring that goes in there, so I have to try and find one that fits that. Yep, good fit. That's all the way on. Alright, there's a little circle up there that holds the sleeve on there. And to take that off, you remove the circle up, slide the sleeve back, and the shaft comes off. So that's all ready to go. That's rolling easily now. Nice. Hope there's not water in this one as well. Oh, it's oil. It's a bit rusty though. Drain that out, put some new oil in there. Oh, look at the rust just coming off. It's like treacle. Yeah, there's a bit of rust in there. It's obviously had some moisture in there as well. Because that oil was so filthy, I'll do a couple of hours riding and then come back and change the oil again. So that's quite filthy. Right, that gear lever end has rusted away, so I'll take that off and weld another piece on the end there. Okay. That'll do it. Now I'm having some electrical issues. The 30 amp fuse here blew and then it stopped running, and so I replaced it with another one and it blew straight away. So there's obviously a short somewhere. I've disconnected the CDI and the starter relay and the rectifier regulator, but that didn't make any difference. It's still shorting out. It's a dead short somewhere, I think. So I'm going to have to go through and check all the wiring. It's just a matter of trying to find where it's shorting, and we should be back in business. So it's pulling 9 volts there, and the battery is showing 12, so let's see if it moves when I jiggle all the wires. Looks like I'm going to have to take that tank off and get in under there as well. That dropped right down to 4. Somewhere up there, I think. taken everything off so I can get a good look at what's going on in here, and found a few exposed wires here. So that one, pulling the voltage, and this here, you can see that wire has been squashed. That is on the positive side as well, so I think that one there was the main culprit. Every time I turned the steering wheel, the fuse would pop, so I knew it was something in here. I'll replace that damaged part, take all these plugs out, give them all a good clean, and make sure there's no corrosion in there, and I'll go through and make sure all the earths are good as well, just to eliminate any other problems. That should be good after I do that. Alright, that's running perfectly now. Solved the electrical issue, and so that's all sorted. I've taped it up and put a bit of a shield between the wires and the steering tube, so that should be good now. There's just a few little things to fix now, like feeling a lot of heat coming off the exhaust here. The guard did come with it. The bolts have broken off in there, so I'll just drill those out, retap them, and put that back on, save my legs. So I might even put a fan up here just to force air through when I'm going at low speeds, and that'll keep the engine a bit cooler. But yeah, just a few little things like that, and it'll be ready to go on missions, I think. So all up, it took about 45 hours to fix all the bits and pieces on it. The main thing was obviously the hole in the casing, that took a wee bit of time, and the front diff. Sorting that out took a wee while. The rest of it was just sort of little things. I don't know how much a shop would charge to do all that. Probably more than the machine's worth. So yeah, I don't think it would have been viable really if I hadn't done it myself. So we'll put all the plastics back on, fix those few little things, and we'll take it on a mission somewhere. Who's ready to go on a mission down to the beach?
Yeah!
Let's go.
Dad's going to attempt to ride on a motorbike down that. Sea jewellery.
Oh, lovely. Found some sea plastic.
What's that?
Oh, there's a nice post there. Just about to take that home. That's brand new. Look at that. Get a few things washed up here.